Hello everyone, welcome to Advantech COMPUTEX 2025, and we are here in the inside of the studio. I'm today's host, Jerry from iHealthcare Advantech, and today we are so glad to have two experts and important VIP to join us to give an insight of how medical combined with the AI that we influence in our industry and also especially in the surgical area. So please join me. Welcome. The first one is David Niewolnly, the Senior Director of the Business Development, Healthcare, Medical, and from NVIDIA. Hi, David.
Hey, Jerry.
And next one is the Menchu Liang, the Chief Technology Officer from Smart Surgery. Hi, Menchu.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, so before we dive into our topic, I would like to still go through that Advantech is not only for the hardware provider. We all have a wide range of the medical products, of course, but nowadays we would like to combine with more like the AI technology and also the software ability to come. So you can see that we have a so wide range of the box PC or medical PC. We're even moving to the mobility solutions here, but I think we is not more than that. And also, every of the is talking about the AI, and even the Gartner chart or about all the data statistics shows that it's really compromising for the next 5 to the 10 years. So next, I would like to ask David and Menchu, what's your opinion about this AI trend, especially from the like NVIDIA point of view that we can bring us to the next level, David?
Well, there's so many unbelievable things going on in AI. And I think you just look at healthcare in general and you look at some of the challenges that are out there, staffing shortages, aging population, constant increasing costs. I think we're looking for anything that we can do to make our clinicians and hospital operations much more efficient. And I think AI has an unbelievable opportunity to do that.
Right, totally agree with you. I think everyone who on seats here is really have the strong feeling that AI is around the corner. So how about you, Menchu? From the software perspective, what do you think about this age and AI stuff?
Definitely. We have seen that a tremendous trend on GPU having deployed at the edge devices, especially the medical and also in the surgical room. And we are looking at a lot of movement in the software, AI, machine learning, especially the federated learning patterns, and then we are also trying to building that solution on that. In the future, I think we have a lot of machine learning running at the edge site. This is very promising.
Right. So I think from the NVIDIA point of view and also combined with the hardware and the software, I think we are ready to move into the next chapter. So before we really dive into how NVIDIA and brought us to the next level, I still want to go through that. Actually, Advantech, we have a wide range of the medical box PC solutions here. So we have a great technology, especially combined with the IGX platforms here. I think David will show more insight of this opinion and really fruitful of idea later on. So David, would you like to give us more insight of the IGX things?
Yeah, I guess I want to even expand a little bit past where we go with IGX. So I talked about all the benefits that I think AI can provide our healthcare and healthcare organizations. And the way we look at the healthcare market and the use of AI, we're thinking of it almost more along the lines of the entirety of the healthcare market is going to be robotic. You see a lot of opportunities for robots in surgical intervention. You see it in imaging and diagnostics. You also see a huge opportunity in assistive operations and then monitoring robotics. If you could go to the next slide, Jerry. We kind of break this idea of robotics into a couple different areas. I think first and foremost, we see the idea of physical robots, which we all know. These are surgical robots, autonomous imaging robots, nursing robots, assistive robots. But there's also this concept of digital robots. So think of digital agents, preoperative agents, tele-interoperative agents, patient monitoring, and then also agents for post-operative care. And for each of these, you need an AI training framework that allows you to build models, simulate these models, and then deploy them at the edge. And this edge deployment is really where IGX comes in. That was really the foundation of why we built NVIDIA IGX. We built a Hailo Scan software platform, and we have an enterprise supported software stack. And this is designed to give all of these customers, vendors, partners who are looking for a common platform to build upon. You now have a standardized hardware and software architecture that you can build upon to not only develop your applications, but also deploy your applications at scale.
So I think that is so many common that's based on this platform that each of the partner will even the end user could be easily deployed and based on the NVIDIA, even the Hailo Scan things. So can you share more insight what is actually the key benefit of it?
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the most important benefits ends up breaking down to the idea of a common platform that is enterprise supported. I think we all know healthcare is a very complex market. You build products, you deploy them, and you keep them in market for up to 10 years. And from that aspect, we're creating a fully supported platform that has a not only 10-year life for hardware, but also 10-year life for software support. I think one of the other kind of key pieces of the IGX and Hailo Scan platform come down to the performance. You're starting to get data scale quality performance now at the point of care, at the edge. So think of the idea of creating this AI platform to run your robot that's now having, up to 15 different AI algorithms running, and all of this done in sub 10 milliseconds. That really was not possible before. So the level of scale, compute, safety, security, and then the fact that all of this is enterprise supported is really, frankly, what makes it ideal for some of these mission critical applications like the operating room.
Yeah, because I think that in the operation, especially doing the image processing or further analysis, every time and every second is really counting for the surgeon and also the patient. So by those like performance and really low latency, so I think IGS can really bring our benefits into this application, right?
So I was going to say, Jerry, it's not just every second. We're now down talking to every millisecond.
Yes, millisecond, right? So it's very, very tiny little time without counting, right? Yes.
And I think the last piece that I wanted to hit on, and I think it speaks volumes to the relationship that NVIDIA and Advantech have specifically around the IGX product, is the benefits of an ecosystem. And I think that's one of the beauties of COMPUTEX and Taiwan, is that entire ecosystem is super key to the way NVIDIA goes to market. You can kind of see at the end, we're all trying to solve some of these major healthcare problems. Those are really anchored in the hospital. But with that, you have these physical robots and digital robots. You have the med tech organizations that are essentially our joint customers. But in order to implement these kind of complex type of tools in terms of a training infrastructure, a simulation infrastructure, and then this edge deployment infrastructure, you need a wide variety of partners. And the relationship that Advantech and NVIDIA have has been absolutely fantastic in terms of building out that edge deployment strategy. So again, thank you very much for all the work you guys have done.
Yeah, no problem. And before we dive into a mentoring part, I still want to have a more discussion with David like that. Actually, like a Da Vinci world, like a surgical robot is really common things nowadays. And since that we have a strong collaboration with NVIDIA and Advantech, do you see like in the following like 3 to 5 years, it's really how deploy or how scale we can imagine that we'll ride this, or how we can, count on that?
That's interesting. If you could actually go back to the slide where we have the physical and digital robots. Yeah, that one. It is interesting that I think for all of us, it's becoming more common to think about surgical robots. But you really realize the number of procedures that surgical robots do every year is still a small portion of the number of procedures that there are. But you also do look at the number of minimally invasive procedures, and that's increasing at an immense rate. So if you can start actually thinking about this as it's not just the physical robot, but almost think of the entire operating room as a robot. Think of the devices that we're building based on this Hailo Scan and IGX platform, aggregating data from a multitude of devices in an OR, in a radiology suite, in an intensive care unit. And this is now the analytics engine, taking in all of that data and actually bringing in the whole idea of software-defined platforms, which is something that I think we've seen in a number of other industries. I think you're going to see an explosion of software built on top of the work that we're doing between Hailo Scan and IGX, because you now have a common platform that all of these software developers are going to build upon. Frankly, no different than what we saw in the rise of the computing architecture. A personal computer came out, and you had a motherboard and you had a Windows operating system, and then a bunch of software came out under that. You saw the same thing with the smartphone. We realized that in the healthcare and medical industry, this isn't going to be something that's going to be a consistent platform. It's going to be something that needs to be vertical market specific. And that's really what we're building from a healthcare perspective between NVIDIA and Advantech.
Yeah, I think David is talking about right position of like our partnership with NVIDIA and also the Advantech. So not only for the IGS things, actually we have like a collaborate with a local partner, the software company we call the Smart Surgery from Manchester. So Manchester, we would like to invite you, give you more our insights of how exactly we can bundle with the NVIDIA IGS solution and also with the Advantech USM series and combined with your software ability.
Sure. So we are from Smart Surgery. So basically, we are a team of medical expertise. So from day one, we were in the surgical room, looking at how surgeons perform surgery, and our product is called minimum surgical AI systems. And then what we do is that we are solving the problem of surgeons encounter every day in a very complex work and procedures. So our AI model is trained to have from data creation to machine learning. And then we deploy the AI models in the fast, very highly optimized, accelerated GPU that is IGX. An entire stack from the hardware and the software. We also use the highly optimized like Hailo Scan that David just mentioned in order to solve a problem to have a minimum microsecond that we are talking about. Surgeons looking at the surgical procedure is by millisecond. They do not have every single second of delay. So we are able to display the surgical procedures real time, providing the guidance, and then we provide the critical organ structure to have a second opinion at the side by side with the original Da Vinci machine. And then we also provide the temporal part of the information to allow surgeons, telling them that they are whether on the right procedures. That is very, very critical and very important for any standard practices and the safety. The aim is to increase the safety of the patient. That is our vision and the mission. And now we are having the partnership with Advantech and also with NVIDIA. We are able to do that.
So mention, I know that Smart Surgery is actually one of the company that we have developed a research area from the north of the Taiwan University, and you developed by yourself. So in this journey, how you think that we combined with like NVIDIA's technology, is that the journey that you see that is really the easy to deploy by your software things, and also how you like your software guys were your like ability to really adapt into this newly technology. Can you share more like insight with us?
Sure. Since last year, we are partnership with hospital in Singapore, especially urology. In surgical AI, they are highly specific department by departments, and the AI model have to be closely developed with the surgeons. So that is the complexity came from. So we work with the surgeons, and we, as an engineer, we all learn how to do surgical procedure seriously. And then we code that. We also even annotate the exact position and the phases into the data set. And a lot of tuning, fine tuning, and we are also leveraging on the AI machine learning operation framework provided by NVIDIA. And we do that also have a lot of F1 score tuning or evaluation with the surgeon, because different departments have different emphasis on that organ structure. For example, urology, we are targeting blood vessels. especially the artery. As you can see on the image or on the example, surgeons, they care about is the life-threatening component. For example, artery and vein and ureter. They don't really care too much about the big kidney. Everyone could see the big kidney. But artery, if any mistake happen on the artery, that will be a life-threatening consequences. So we fine-tune the model that's highly specialized in the recognizing blood vessels. That's one thing. And we also have that, also talk to the surgeons and how we can do better on training. Because AI model intraoperative is only one part of the entire cycle. And we also could do a pre-operation planning using the AI model to teach the students, the medical students, because we have been working with medical university, so that to conduct training, we can use the AI model to create machine learning and also the training content. That's one part of it. And also another part of it, we could save and we can optimize the operation room efficiency. That's what David just mentioned. There are a lot of insight and data points in the operation room. Whether we could combine that laparoscopy images and that operation room images as one 360 degree. The objective is to create a better outcome of the patient. We want to increase that recovery time, that will shorten the time but increase the chances of recovery. This is our missions, and we would like to do much more even on the assessment of it. We can use the model to do recording, and we can use the models to do assessment on that operation. Then the management level of the hospital can have the insight and to do a better planning and in the future.
It really is fantastic, Manchi, to see your vision. I mean, it's exactly how I think when we were conceptualizing and kind of designing the IGX and Hailo Scan platform, the type of use case that you just articulated is exactly what we were aiming for. It's starting with that one initial application to be able to place your system into the operating room. That again now builds trust with the surgical community, but then the amount of data capture that you can get off of that and begin training a lot of new different applications, all based on the clinician's workflow. Because I think that's one thing you didn't mention, but I know your team's thinking about it. You can have great AI applications, but if you don't snap into the clinical workflow that these surgeons already have in place, it makes it really, really hard to actually begin saving them money, saving them time, because they don't want to change from a lot of the things that they have done in the past. So that whole idea of snapping into the clinical workflow, but then having one singular hardware system that has the ability to run a number of different applications is fantastic.
Last thing to chime in is that we do observe and estimate a 20% time reductions on the procedures, and having the automated recording systems that will tremendously reduce the workload of the staff. This is what we want to have the win-win situation. The staff, they use the system so that they can do less work. I think this is what they are looking for. And we are trying to create a better life and less work in the medical systems right now. Yes.
Yeah, so mention, I think that not only for the kidney transplants or uterus, the surgical things, leveraging from the IGX platform here, we can really reduce the 20 to 30% of the mistake or failure rates. And do you see that not only for these specific surgical things, so far as I know that we are developing also for dental or cavity things to do the recognition. Is there other region or organ or some specific part of our surgical that your company is going to develop more based on the IGX?
We have not just the surgical part, we have the X-ray, dental. We have the solution for dental, for the dentist running in the dental clinic. And then the key part is that we want to promote better healthcare in the dentistry. And this part even is more daily, more friendly, or even everyone will be benefit by then. So we want to reduce the problem on the on your tooth, and also pure dental treatment. Pure dental treatment, if you go for the examination, is very, very painful. And we want to reduce the pain and on that analysis. So this is what we are looking for. We want to look forward to have the partnership with NVIDIA and Advantech to develop more advanced cutting-edge devices and solutions in the future.
Okay, so I have one last question for David. So since that Jensen is in COMPUTEX and this year, and especially he mentioned that actually he's going to build out an AI of the computer based in the Taiwan's here. So do you see that like for the following years, do we have like a privilege or some of the like special that we are going to collaborate more based on the like NVIDIA and the medical things, not only for the IGX, but like the following successor? Do you see that we have the strong collaboration, especially located in Taiwan, like a partnership and our partners? What's your thoughts?
Well, I think what you heard Jensen announce is something that is, frankly, really, really exciting. I mean, the fact that you guys are looking forward and building a sovereign AI infrastructure right here in Taiwan, there is so many different initiatives. And I think, you guys have heard throughout your Taiwanese government the whole mantra of healthy Taiwan and bringing the hospital to the homespital. You look at that vision, and a lot of that is enabled from AI. And there's going to be a number of initiatives that leverage that sovereign AI supercomputing infrastructure that is built, that is going to bring together the entire Taiwanese ecosystem. And it's something I've been mentioning a lot on this trip specifically is Taiwan is something really unique. I mean, with a single payer healthcare system, a government that is aligned on focusing on health and implementing technology as shown by the Sovereign AI initiative that we just announced leading up to COMPUTEX. In addition, we have fantastic computer makers like Advantech, and we have a robust software ecosystem being built out. And with that, I will tell you there's very few places in the world that have an aligned government initiative, have sovereign AI being built with the right compute infrastructure, have healthcare providers that actually can act as developers, and a compute infrastructure, by Advantech and others in the community to actually implement it. So, what you guys have here is really special here in Taiwan. I think the Sovereign AI initiative that we're kicking off, with Taiwan specifically is really just going to accelerate your AI initiatives in a lot of different areas. But I think one that is going to really make the most impact for each of us every day is going to be in the area of healthcare. And I'm excited to keep coming back to COMPUTEX and see kind of this innovation continue.
So I assume that we can see David and Manchu soon in the area of the activity that Advantech will be holding. So coming to the last section, we have a great demo and great software and great products here, especially in our booth right here in the Taiwan and the COMPUTEX in the Advantech here. We have so much things to show, especially in the medical products here. So this is really coming and thankful for David and Manchu come to our session. So once again, thank you so much for your time. And this is our last ending. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, enjoy the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you, everyone.